The illusion of excess. Luxury is often framed as a reward, the shimmering prize at the end of hard work, luck, or legacy. The gold watch, the leather bag, the penthouse view no one else can touch. But behind this sheen of indulgence lies a structure not built on elegance, but on exclusion. Luxury doesn't just say, "This is beautiful." It says, "This is not for everyone." And that's the point. The more inaccessible it is, the more valuable it becomes. But that value doesn't come out of nowhere. It's carved out of labor, inequality, and centuries of curated aspiration. A kind of wealth theater designed to dazzle while it distracts. Invisible hands. Who really makes luxury? Luxury tells you it's handmade, artisanal, built with love. And in some cases, that's true. In a centuries-old Italian leather shop, or a French vineyard passed down through generations. But in many others, luxury is stitched together in sweatshops hidden behind subcontracting chains, far removed from the glossy boutiques of Paris or Milan. An ethically sourced cashmere sweater that costs $1,200? It might have come from a factory where workers are underpaid, overworked, and operating without protections. The hidden labor force behind luxury is often migrant, female, and unseen. Their craftsmanship is sold at a premium, but their lives remain undervalued. And when brands boast about limited production, they rarely mention that those limits are sometimes created by squeezing the supply chain at the bottom. Luxury, at times, isn't paying for rarity. It's paying for silence. Sustainability or symbolism. Sustainability is the new status symbol. From mushroom leather to carbon-neutral champagne, brands now race to prove their green credentials. But luxury has a sustainability problem it doesn't like to talk about. It's built on excess. Private jets, seasonal collections, fast-changing trends at high prices. A handbag may last 50 years, but if it's updated every 6 months to stay in, what are we actually sustaining? Some labels go further, destroying unsold inventory to preserve exclusivity. Not donating, not repurposing, just burning. Why? Because luxury isn't just about value, it's about perceived scarcity. So while you see eco-conscious campaigns, behind the curtain, waste and overproduction continue, just more discreetly. Who gets to be luxurious? Luxury has always been marketed as an elite club. But what does it take to get in? It's not just wealth, it's whiteness, thinness, Eurocentric beauty standards, and often a passport into the right social circles. Walk into a high-end boutique wearing streetwear, with darker skin or a working-class accent, and watch the temperature drop. Security eyes linger. Sales associates go cold. The message is unspoken, but clear. You don't belong here. Meanwhile, influencers or celebrities, often young, white, and wealthy, are handed bags for free. They're not customers. They're part of the aesthetic machinery. Luxury isn't just about buying in. It's about being let in. Culture appropriated, sold back at a markup. Luxury has always borrowed, from history, from art, from culture. But increasingly, it borrows from marginalized communities, removes context, and rebrands it for profit. Traditional African prints reimagined as tribal chic. Hip-hop aesthetics used to sell designer streetwear. Indigenous beadwork reinterpreted, with no credit, no royalties, no relationship. This isn't appreciation, it's extraction. And when those same communities wear their own styles, they're called too loud, unprofessional, or ghetto. Luxury wants the flavor, not the fight. The look, not the lived reality. The psychology of exclusivity. Why do we still want it? Why does a $6,000 handbag feel different than a $60 one? even when it holds the same contents, because luxury taps into the human desire to belong to something rare. It gives us symbols, the logo, the monogram, the invitation-only event, and says, "You've made it." But these are status totems. They work only if others don't have them. Luxury survives by dividing, not uniting. It thrives on creating a sense of aspirational insufficiency. You're not quite enough, but maybe if you buy this, you'll be closer. And so we chase. Not always for the thing itself, but for the feeling it promises. The performative side of philanthropy. To counter critique, many luxury brands highlight charity galas, education programs, or donations to climate initiatives. But these acts, while welcome, often mask ongoing harms. A $1 million donation to a cause while profiting billions from underpaid labor. A runway show celebrating diversity, with zero diversity in the boardroom. Eco-pledges made in marketing, but not enforced in practice. It's not just greenwashing, it's virtue signaling. Luxury doesn't need more symbolic gestures. It needs structural shifts in who it empowers, how it sources, and what it stands for. Gatekeeping as brand strategy. What other industry limits its own sales to increase appeal? Luxury does. Brands use scarcity as a tool, intentionally producing fewer goods than demand requires, then selecting who can buy. Even if you have the money, you might not get the bag. Why? Because in luxury, access itself is part of the product. That velvet rope isn't an obstacle. It's a marketing feature. This isn't just about fashion. It's about a broader message. You can try to join us, but we still decide if you're worthy. Reinventing luxury, a new definition. What if luxury wasn't about price, but about principle? Not the most expensive, but the most intentional. Not made for few, but made with care for all. Luxury could mean transparent sourcing, fair wages and humane working conditions, representation across cultures, sizes, genders, and abilities. Celebration without exploitation. It could evolve from exclusion to inclusion, from waste to wisdom, from excess to ethics. True luxury isn't about owning more, it's about valuing better. The future. We choose. Luxury is not just a category, it's a culture. And like all cultures, it can be challenged, reimagined, reclaimed. We, the consumers, shape that future. With every purchase, every post, every platform we build or support. We can ask, who made this? Who benefits? Who's being left behind? And when we start asking those questions, luxury loses its illusion and gains conscience. Because maybe the most luxurious thing we can do now is care. Not for appearances, but for people. Epilogue. Luxury that liberates. What if the next generation of luxury isn't a bag, a brand, or a boutique? What if it's knowing the name of the woman who made your jacket, and that she's paid well? Seeing yourself reflected in a campaign without tokenism. Entering a space and not being questioned at the door. Wearing something rare, not because it's expensive, but because it's meaningful. That's a different kind of luxury. One that doesn't hide behind curtains, but opens doors. And that kind of luxury? It's not just beautiful, it's just